Hey folks, hope you are all doing well. We will be starting in just a few minutes, okay? So bear with us for just 2 to 3 minutes, then we will start. Meanwhile, we have our speaker with us already here. Manvi, how are you? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Hi, Tushar. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm all good. I'm all good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we will be starting in just a few minutes.
For sure.
Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes more. People are still joining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moinak having doubt regarding hackathon. You will get to know it soon, okay? We will start the rolling out the approval mails by this week. No need to worry. We have already started reviewing the applications. We will start the approval very soon. Okay, folks. So hello everyone. I hope you are all doing well. I am Tushar Mukhopadhyay, events lead from Hack4Bengal 2.0. So first of all, I just want to know that have you all registered for our second season, or you are still thinking that you will be registered or not, having any doubts? Right? Mention in the chat. Have you registered or not? Because we are just very much close to 500 registrations. Okay, so let's see who gets the slot. Okay, yeah, registered. Cool. Yeah, I'm a beginner. Okay, Moinak, you are a beginner. Cool. Yeah. Hack for Bengal for everyone. Okay. So, yeah. Coming back to our session. Yeah. Okay. So, today's session is the second pre-hack session of Hack for Bengal 2.0, where we have the topic Hack the User Journey with UI UX. Here, we have Manvi Singwal. If you know, she's a product designer at ClassCover, ex Doubtnut. So, and she has also been, if you have been a part of Hack for Bengal season one, so she was also there with us. She was a mentor there. She was a judge there. So again, we have back here. It's great to have you back. And to begin with, first, I just want to show some questions that we have received. Like, okay, so the question was, what is UI UX according to you? Right.
Okay.
It was like not for you. It was for the people in the who have registered there. So we have the questions there, and people have gave very interesting answers. Okay, so okay,
Oh,
people who are already here, I will be featuring few of the answers here.
yeah.
But if you are here in the meet and if you want to share your in your own words, what is UI UX according
So
to you,
basically,
do
I'm
write
going
it.
to cover like everything in the
Mhm.
presentation. So we can
Yeah, 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 yeah. Cool, cool, cool. So, just who are there, if you can share it in the chat section. Other than that, there were many interesting answers. Like people were have answered like it's a way to interact people. It's a user interface, which is also one vital and critical part of front end development.
okay.
Cool. Okay, it's a great tech stack. Okay, people are writing tech stack. Cool. Okay, it's not a tech stack actually. Okay, so every doubt will be cleared here by our speaker. So over to you, Manvi. You can carry on
Thank
from
you,
here.
Tushar. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm just so excited. And as you said, this is the second season of Hack for Bengal, and I was a part of this hackathon in the previous season as well as a mentor and judge. And I am fortunate enough to be a part of this season again as a speaker. So thank you so much for inviting me. And I really love like everything that has been happening around Hack for Bengal. I am following everything on social media, all the collaboration that you guys are doing. It is really great, and I am pretty sure that again this year it is going to be huge and like really interesting. So first of all, like kudos to all of you who is like involved in this hackathon. You all are just doing amazing job. So uh, let's begin. First of all, a huge hi to you all. Thank you so much for being here, like in this session. And honestly, like to be a part of communities, because whatever I am today is because of communities only. And I'm pretty sure that while participating in such events, you will like gain a lot of knowledge, and you will love, and you'll meet a lot of good people and interact with like-minded people, which is going to help you a lot like in a long run. So yeah, like congratulations to you all for being here. So let me just present my screen. I hope it is visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
So basically, we are going to communicate through chat only. So just, feel free to write anything if you have any sort of doubt in the chat section. So like for today, the topic is hack the user journey with UI UX. Um, so like a little introduction about myself. So basically, I am having like 3 years of experience as a product person, and I have worked like with leading tech companies before. Right now, I'm working with Glasscover as a product designer, which is an Australian-based tech company. So right now, I'm working remotely. Previously, I was also a Girls Trip regional head Delhi, and below are my like social handles. Feel free to connect with me like after the session if you want to. So for today, the agenda is like, as Tushar mentioned that he has asked some of you like what is the difference between UI UX. So we'll cover that because it is really important if we are talking about user journey. And so for that, it is really important to understand what basically UI is, what is UX, what is the importance of these two terms, and why should you care about UI UX in general. And then we'll talk about UI UX for hackathons, because for hackathons many of you think that it is all about coding, but it is not like that. If you know UI UX, you can definitely participate in hackathons. And also if you are a developer, how you can contribute to UI UX. So we'll look at these all things as well. And lastly, we'll talk like how to get started with UI UX design. If you have interest, how you can get started with it. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, we'll look into what is UI UX design. We'll understand these terms. So UI is user interface. Basically in UI, we just focus on looks, and it is what users see, right? So when I talk about like looks and what users see, let's take an example of Instagram, right? I am pretty sure that you all are using it. So whenever you open that app, whatever you see over there, story icons, all the story that people posted, the posts, search bar, messages, whatever you see, it is what UI is. Basically, what users see, right? And UX is user experience. Basically, how things actually work. It is all about like creating amazing and hassle-free experiences for the user. So basically, how the user feel while using the product, right? So like for whatever they are, for whatever task they are on your product, are they able to fulfill those things while using your product? For example, let's take an example of a food app. Let's talk about Swiggy, right? It is one of my favorite app in terms of UI UX. So let's talk about that, right? If I am using Swiggy, my main goal is to order something, right? If as a user I'm able to accomplish that, that is UX, right? That means I have created that great experience for my users, that they are able to buy food. So basically user experience is mostly emotional, it is about our user mental actions, like how a user react when using a product, or what emotions he feel while using the product, right? Is he happy, is he sad, or neutral? It mostly deals like with goals users are trying to achieve, as I already mentioned about food. And let's take another example of e-commerce app, right? If you're using Myntra, maybe your main goal is to buy something, yeah, right? For shop something for you, maybe some clothes or whatever. So are you able to do that? Are you able to find that particular thing for what you are looking for? So all of these come under UX. So basically, um and also like whatever interaction are they likely to perform in order to reach their goals. So this is all comes under UX. Then, sorry, just bear with dogs, they just bark every time. So this is another example. um so let's look into, these are some UI from Swiggy apps. I just took screenshot and pasted over there. So from the bottom nav, when you click on food, this is what you see, right? So whatever you are seeing in the screen, all the layouts, all the colors that they have used, all the icons that they have used, search icon, everything, this is UI. But on the other side, let's assume I'm a new user, or maybe not new user, I am living in Delhi, right? And I am completely new to this city. I don't even know what restaurant is best for me, and I love dosa, so I want to order dosa, right? So I quickly go to this app. And so for user experience, they have these filters, right? Filters sorted by fast delivery. Maybe you can apply some filters. And also, and let's say I have applied one filter, I have found one restaurant that is really good. And if you can see on the screen, they have this little tooltip that says you can now discover similar restaurants only. So when you click on that, you will be able to see in a pop-up that in a drop down, show similar restaurants. So when you click on that, you will be able to see similar restaurants to that particular restaurant, right? So this is a great user experience in my opinion, that you are new to that city, you don't know, but based on the ratings, maybe you're able to find one restaurant, but now you will be able to see all the similar restaurants. So this is a live example of what UI and UX is. So like, do you guys have any doubt till now, or like is it completely fine, or you will be able to like understand? You can type in your answers like in the chat if you want to. Awesome. Cool. So let's move ahead. Now, another question is how UI affects the UX of a product, and how UX affect the UI. So, like, I have met a lot of people who are, beginner to this particular thing, design, and most of these people just don't know. They just consider these two terms like, similar, that, these two things are just one, but it is not like that. Now we will see how these two things individually affect each other, right? So, um, let's talk about this, this way. um let's say you are working in a company, right? And you have a great user experience designer, right? UX designer in your company. And so basically what he did, he basically did proper user research, right? And help you figure out exactly what feature your app should have, right? He mapped out the entire user journey, he exactly made what your target audience want or need, but when they download it, it's all messed up. Let's assume that in a yellow color background you have written in white text. So will you be able to read it, right? So this is how a good UX is pretty good, but this is how UI is affecting the UX. For example, let's look to this example. It is not working. Just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry. Canva is behaving so weirdly. What's wrong with Canva now? Just give me a minute, guys. Let me reopen it. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, so I was talking about how UX will affect the UI and how UI will affect the UX, right? So this is an example. So basically what I did, I just created and designed, right? And here, uh, if you will notice, we'll have like some problems in this screen. So number one, like in a yellow CTA, in a yellow box, we have written, this is a button, by the way, we have written start campaign, which definitely have accessibility issues, right? Think about a person who has some vision problem. So definitely he or she is not going to read it. Number one, accessibility problem. Definitely, let's assume that the UX of this particular app is pretty good, but this is how UI is affecting the UX. First of all, in this particular design, number one problem is accessibility. Number two, there are a lot of inconsistency. The app looks, this screen looks pretty cluttered. And also, in UI, there can never be two CTAs together. So that is again a different issue. So two primary buttons can never come together if we talk about UI. And also, let's say mobile phones. Some people use small devices, and for them, maybe they can hit the wrong button by mistake. So this is again a problem. So this is an example of how a good UX, sorry, a bad UI is affecting the UX, right? So now let's talk about um uh, and on the flip side, have you ever came across a really beautiful website which has mind-blowing animations and on point color scheme, but it is really pain to use, right? Let's say if I'm on a e-commerce app and I want to find something, but I'm unable to find search button, I'm unable to find whatever I'm looking to get. So this is an example of how UX is affecting a good UI. So basically what I'm trying to say is that UI and UX are different terms, and they both affect each other, right? It is like picking up a beautiful cake while it tastes awful when you bite into it, exactly like that, right? So it is really important to understand that UX and UI do go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. But You don't need to possess UI design skills if you want to be a UX designer, and vice versa. So basically, there are three terms. No, actually, there are many terms, but here I'm just talking about UI designer, UX designer, and product designer. So if you think that you are pretty good in UI, you are creative, you are really good in visual design skills, then you can be a UI designer. And on the other side, if you think that you are really empathetic about people, about your users, and you really understand their feelings, and you are really good with research, then definitely you can be a UX designer. And if I talk about product designer, if you are really keen into, if you are really good with UI and UX, and you are also really good with product aspects as well, you think about business, how to grow business with design, then you can definitely become a product designer. So these are three terms. Now let's look into deeply what UI designers do, what UX designers do, and what are product designers, right? So any doubt till now? Is it clear for you, for in terms of UI UX? I think it is clear. So let's move on. Let's understand the responsibilities. So like for UI designer, what UI designers do, as I already mentioned, they basically do a lot of visual design things. They select colors. So just one question: how many of you randomly choose any color for your app or website? Let's say you are working on any app, maybe related to health. So how many of you just randomly pick any color? Just a question. How many of you actually know that there are diff I mean every color depict something in UI, right? Blue or red? Okay. Why red? Why do light blue? Okay, cool. So we'll look into it, but yes, I mean I got it. So basically, this is what UI designers do. They think about colors, they think about typography, contrast, alignments, hierarchy as in, if you are building any website, what is that text you want your users to be, really, when they come to your website, this is the first thing that you wanted to show to your users. This is what hierarchy is. Then they do a lot of wireframing and prototyping. No designer can directly start designing. They first make wireframing, right? Maybe take pen and paper and start drawing, start what your website or app should look like. And then they do prototyping is just connecting all the screens, how the interaction would look like. So, and it is really become easier for developers also to make them understand that how your web or app should look like. And also responsive design. So if I am a user, if you are, you have built one website, and maybe there is going to be one user who is going to see that design in 16:9 website, and then there are going to be some users who are going to see that, open that particular website in iPad. So there are going to be different sort of users, so you have to tackle everyone. So a UI designer should know about responsive design as well. And the most important skill is empathy, right? If you are not empathetic about people, empathy makes us better humans. I definitely believe in that. And you know so funny thing, but I am an overthinker empath. So like previously I used to overthink about my life decision. Now I overthink about my designs and about my users, obviously. So well, jokes apart, so yeah, empathy, it is really important. So you have to be very empathetic about your users. And then collaboration and communication to be a better designer, because you are crafting, so you are solving for your users. You have to know how to communicate with them. And most importantly, you have to present your ideas to people, so you should know how to communicate well. And collaboration, as a UI designer, you have to collaborate with many people. You have to collaborate with UX designer, you have to collaborate with content writers, because when you are creating something, you need content for them. So you have to be better at collaborating with people. And definitely, for being a UI designer, you should be very creative, and you should know how to solve problems. Moving on, UX designers. Number one skills for UX designer, in my opinion, is empathy. Because now here we'll do a lot of user experience thing. It is a lot big world of UX designer, you have to do a lot of user research, lot of research. I mean, I have just mentioned a few things, but it is a really big field. So if you are really passionate about that, I would really suggest you to just check this amazing field. So basically, empathy. Another thing is qualitative user research. Here we conduct user research, right? We conduct interviews, user interviews. We talk to users. We try to understand their pain point. Let's say we have released one feature. We really wanted to understand if they're liking it or not, if there is any problems they are facing. So, and we conduct user interviews, and then all there are many other methods as well, affinity mapping. These are high term words, so I'm not like saying anything right now, but if you wanted to know about them more, definitely go and check them out. Then quantitative user research. Here we conduct surveys. Let's say you have released a feature, now you wanted to understand if your users are able to use it, are they getting it. So for that, maybe you can conduct surveys. Then product analytics, heat maps. Heat maps are basically, let's say you want, basically here you see what is the most used area and what is the least used area. So if you wanted to add some feature, maybe you will love to add that particular feature where people are most interacting with. Then session recordings. So basically, in whichever firms I have worked till now, we have used UX scams. So what UX scams do, I mean, this is a tool where we get to see user recordings. So with user recordings, we can see whatever users are doing, how they are acting with our website and product. This is a great way to know more about your user, about your feature, what improvement it's need, and all of these things. And then A/B testing. So this all come under user research. A/B testing is basically to analyze user behavior. Let's say you have created two iteration, and you are very dicey that you think 50% of the users may like this one and 50% of the user may like this one. So what you do A/B testing to just analyze that which is better for your users. So all of these things, uh, like is what needed you to be a good UX designer. That information architecture, it is basically what structure how your app or website should looks like. And then wireframing and prototyping, same as I mentioned in UI designer thing. And then collaboration and communication, obviously this is also important thing, because you have to talk with your users, so you should know how to communicate with them, how to empathize with them, and how to understand what they're feeling, because obviously you have to be a people person if you want to become a UX designer. And then obviously problem solving. What we do, we get a problem, we solve this for our users. This is what we do on a daily basis, right? So this is what UI and UX is. Then as I am a product designer, so you may want to know what product designing is, how it is different from UI and UX designer. So basically, as a product designer, we involve with business decision as well. Like we try to understand what our product is. For product designer, product understanding is really good, right? We ship something, we try to impact design, right? We try to do data analysis, that how many people are actually getting it, what is the where we are lacking, and how we can fix it up. So this all come under data analysis. So this is what product designers do. um Moving on, so any doubt till here? Like if you have anything, you can just let me know, and maybe we can clear it right away. UI image, which UI image? Oh, I mean, okay, I'll open it up. I'm talking about this one. So, so let's start. I think let's move ahead. Okay, so now here comes an interesting thing that I know, that UI UX or hackathons, how you can take UI UX design in consideration to hackathons. So I really, so basically let me share my experience. So previously I was a judge in Hack4Bengal, and I was just checking all of the projects. So what I noticed is people just start coding. They never mention anything about um UI UX. They randomly chosen, and any sort of color scheme and everything. They are just not thought about typography and all. So this is these all are the problems that I have noticed. And obviously, if I'm a judge and I'm a product designer, so then definitely I'm going to mark on the basis of these things only, right? So let's start with this particular topic. So basically, I just did chat GPT, and I've asked them that tell me some good examples of hackathons. So this is one of those, a tool that can help people manage their mental health during time of stress or anxiety. So let's see. uh, Wait, I have just created one Figma file. I'm going to just open it. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So yes. So this is one, like simple file that I have created in Figma. So this is basically a template. Maybe like if any one of you wanted it for your hackathon, just do let me know. I can share it with you all. So let's see how you can get started with this particular topic. Let's say you have chosen this problem statement for your hackathon project, right? So as a designer, or I'm not talking about designer here, maybe as a developer also, what is the first step? First step should always be define the problem first. Try to clearly understand these four questions. Why I am building this, right? What is the problem statement? मैं ये क्यों बना रही हूँ, definitely. And then who am I building it for? ये मैं किसके लिए बना रही हूँ? This is the main question. कौन, who is the target audience basically? What am I building? कि मैं क्या बना रही हूँ? Is it going to be a app or is it going to be a website? And what is their goal with your particular app or website? What is going to be the goal of your user, right? So these all are the questions that you should need to understand first. So basically, I've just written the heading, getting started, mentioned problem statement. So here I have just mentioned that this is a tool. I am going to make a tool that can help people manage their mental health during time of stress and anxiety. My goal is to support people in managing their mental health, because mental health should always be a priority. If you think that you are doing something and it is affecting your mental health, just stop doing that. Your first and main priority should be your mental health. Then sorry for the gyan. Then many people do not have access to the mental health services, or they are very hesitant to seek them out due to stigma, obviously, because society think that you are mental, or you are just mentally retarded if you are if your mental health is not good. But this is not like that. So basically, I am trying to develop a tool for such people. So basically, what you are doing, you are writing your goals, why you are going to build this particular app or website. Then we have to understand what our target audience is. Mental health issues, according to who, it can affect all the people of all ages, genders, and background, right? And data suggests that 1 in 4 people are suffering from mental health problems. So you have defined your target audience. What is your target audience? Every people, right? So now, uh, basically, let's assume it to be like 15 to around 60, 70, or whatever. So right now people mainly use mobile phones. So here comes the question, what am I building, right? So basically, let's assume we are building an app, because obviously everyone has mobile phones, so it will be really handy for them to use app, right? So now our first step is done. We have defined the problem statement. Now we have a clear understanding कि मैं क्या बना रही हूँ, किसके लिए बना रही हूँ, और क्यों बना रही हूँ, और मेरा इस एप्लीकेशन को लेकर गोल क्या, राइट? why am I building this, who am I building it for, what I'm building, and what is their goal. First step done. Let's go to second step, user research. Abhi, don't think that we have to be a UX designer to do this. No, it is a simple thing that any person who is participating in hackathon should do, but many people avoid this, right? So basically this is a template. If you need it, just do let me know, I'll share it with you. So first of all, write down your user's goal, need, motivation, frustration, and task. Goal is what your users goal are if they are going to use your app or website, right? Obviously feel less overwhelmed and stressed if they're using your app, right? Feel more in control of their emotion, feel more productive. So you have to write 5, 10 things. Then what your users need, they need a safe and understanding environment, a sense of belonging, so they should feel good, feel more about themselves, and then they can do self-care activities. So whatever in your mind, just write it down what your users need. Then users motivation, what are the motivation of your users while using this uh, product, whatever you have made while using your app. They should feel more empowered, they should feel more supported, they should feel more motivated. So these all are the motivation. Then frustration, what are the frustration, maybe feeling uncertain what to do, maybe their progress is slow, or maybe they are feeling that there's no one to talk to. So these are their frustrations. So write it down whatever comes to your mind. And then task. Now here write down what things you want your users want while using your app. Maybe they will be able to track their emotions and thought, they can connect with peers, they can find resources and support, they can do self-care activities. Whatever you want that your app should include, just write down all of these things. Now while when you will complete all of these things, you will understand, now you will have a better understanding what you're going to build and what all features you are going to include in your app, right? Then moving on, next step, right? Feature prioritization. Do feature prioritization. Divide it into 4 things: must have, should have, could have, won't have. Or if you don't have time, just write must have or should have. But why I'm saying could have or won't have, because if you are presenting it to someone, people will understand that you have think of other features as well that your web or your app or website should have. So that is why I have mentioned it over there. So in must have, write down features that should be in your first version. Without them, definitely your product is not going to work. And what all are the deliverables your product is going to have. In should have, write down what is important but not essential in the first version. Without them, product can work, but definitely it has limited benefits. And this can be launched in the next release. So this is really good. If you are presenting it to someone, people will understand that you have think about the future scope as well. Then write could have. Could have basically negotiable. These are negotiable. These are nice to have. These are important, but these are definitely not urgent. So write down all the features. Now you have your features list ready, right? Then create a information architecture. Information architecture, it's not important that you have to create it like that. This just create simple boxes, right? This is a start page, this is a home. Now through home, user will go to login page. Now login can have in login you have user have to write their mobile number, their email, whatever, right? So this is how you will be able to create information architecture. Now this is really beneficial for developers as well, right? They will be able to understand from this, and as a designer also, you will be able to understand what you are going to create. Just forget about designers and developer, just think about a person. With this information architecture, you will be able to understand what the flow is going to be, right? You have created a structure. Now this is all you need to do for the user research. Now you have a clear understanding about your problem statement, you have researched a bit, and also complement with him. Maybe you can go on and do some competitive analysis. You can find out some apps, some similar apps, and you can take the screenshots and see what all these people are doing, what all features they have, and what all things you can include. All right, so you can do that as well. Then third thing is design. So for design, you have to create a style guide. So for style guide, only two things you need to take care of: colors and typography. Now, basically, people randomly choose any sort of colors, but every color depict something in UI design, right? Let's say through you first have to understand what kind of feeling you want users to have while using your product. Maybe you want to convey a feeling of peace and trust, because obviously if we are creating a mental health app, we want that people can trust our app, they can come and they can use this particular app and they can feel more peaceful while using this product. So maybe with that sense we can choose blue. So you can finalize what intent you want your users to feel while using the product, and based on that select colors, right? So you can select colors through that way. And then typography. So basically for typography, I would suggest that basically if you're using an app, so just test it. If you are using Poppins or Lato, these are just app, there are many sciences behind that, sans serif serif, I'm not going into it, but just make sure that whatever font you are using, it is readable, right? Think about accessibility. People with vision problems will not be able to read it, then it is definitely an accessibility issue. You should try to avoid it. So this is the way you can make your style guide, just font and colors, and that is how you can start with it. Now create wireframes. You don't have to know Figma, but Figma is really easy tool. You can learn it like in one day. It is really easy to use, really simple. Obviously there are many advanced things as well, but to make general designs you don't need to like learn it a lot. But yeah, you can get started with it. You can create wireframes. You can just take pen and paper, just start drawing what you need, where you want to put your search icon, where you want to categorize things, where you want to add this feature, what a nav should have. Start creating, and then you are good to go. So definitely, if you are thinking these skills, you I mean these are not UI UX design, but obviously if you are creating something, you are creating some project, then obviously you should do all of these things. So yeah, any doubt till now? Like, is it clear? Am I making sense to you all? Awesome. So now the last thing we are just ending. How to get started with UI UX. And so how many of you now think that you wanted to be a designer? Just wanted to understand, or you all wanted to be a developer only? Ah, I wanted to be both. Yeah, that is okay actually. You can be a both. You can do both actually, design and development. There are many people who do that. Cool. So let's see how to get started with UI UX design. So basically, there are really a lot of content available in the market, right? What I would suggest, or what I did, I'm a self-taught designer. I never took any sort of degree or any sort of course to be a designer. I'm a self-taught. I just learned it from YouTube, from people, and from articles. I just read a lot of articles and I practice a lot. That is how I become a designer. So first of all thing, YouTube. So there are a lot of channels, design course. I have just written a few AJ and Smart Google Design. और अगर आपको हिंदी में करना है, so you can directly go and check Ansh Mehra. He has created a lot of videos in Hindi as well. So if you are comfortable with Hindi, more comfortable with Hindi, then definitely you can check and his YouTube channel as well. And then Saptarshi Prakash. If you are interested to learn more about interaction design, go and check his YouTube channel as well. And if you wanted to learn Figma, then you can check Figma YouTube channel. They have like a video for every feature and all of that stuff. So that is how you can get started with it. Then articles. Read a lot of articles. Go to Medium. They have publications like UX Planet, UX Collective, mostly. So you can go there and start reading articles. That is how you can get to know about, different people perspective, different people skill set, different people like, how they're perceiving design. So you can get to learn a lot from these things. And then social media is a great tool, I am telling you that. People share a lot of wisdom. Go to Instagram, there are many great designers, but definitely don't follow anyone blindly. Just do your own research, right? And then inspirations, what I would suggest that, Dribble and Behance, they have a lot of inspiration available, but most of their designs are, I mean, for UI inspiration it's fine, but in terms of UX it's not. People are just, randomly picking anything and just creating. But obviously, if you want to be a UI designer, you have to do a lot of practice. But and also, if you want to take inspiration from real products. Maybe Swiggy is a good food app. If you want to just make in e-commerce, we have a lot of apps, Amazon, Flipkart, and all of these things. Take inspiration from them, just copy their design to learn how UI work. And for UX, think of a problem statement and create something, do user research and all of these things. And then definitely design events like this. And there are definitely going to be many design events, so go there, learn from everybody journey, attend those events and learn from each other. And the last thing is practice. Practice is the key if you want to become a UI designer and UX designer. And it's not about in being in a design field. It is being in any field. If you want to be a developer, then definitely practice is the key. So yeah, so these are the things that you can do to get started with it. So I think yes, that is it from my end. Thank you so much for bearing up with me. Yeah. So if there are any questions, just do let me know. I am open to take questions now.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, that was a great presentation. A lot of insights regarding UI UX.
Thank you.
So, folks, yeah, if you have any question, do write in the comment section. Meanwhile, just let me point out a few questions that we have received through our registrations. Just a second, let me share my screen. Yeah, I guess my screen is visible. Yeah, so first question that we have received is, how do you approach designing for different screen sizes and resolutions?
So basically, if you go to Figma, they have like, defined frames for everything. You just have to click on frames and you will get frame for everything. If you want to design it for MacBook Pro 16-9, you will get a frame for that. If you want to design it for mobile, and for any mobile, iPhone 16 is not there, iPhone 14, 13, and anything. So you can pick up anything and just start doing it. So yeah, and also there are many articles available as well, so you can see. But obviously there are standards, like for Android there is some standard like 360, and for iPhone this is 414. So it also depend on that thing as well. So yeah.
Okay, okay, got it, got it. Okay, so how to approach a fruitful career in this domain? Yeah.
Okay. This is an interesting question. So I mean, see, if you wanted to be a designer, then definitely don't think that you can be a good designer in one day. I, to be very honest, I'm still learning. I can't say that in these 3 years I have learned everything about design. Design is evolving. There are going to be many design trends that is going to come in every month or in every year. So you have to be very vocal about it. You have to be a great learner for this. So yeah, I mean, you have to be a learner always if you want to be a designer.
Okay, okay. So moving on to the next one. Yeah, a very decent question, an interesting one. With the coming of some good AI tools, will the requirement for UI UX designers decrease? Okay,
I
layoffs and all.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, see, definitely AI tools come, but obviously human touch is important. And a AI tool can never, I don't think so. We are working on different products. Our use case is different. Our user audience, our target audience is different. So we have to do a lot of research. Obviously, our AI tool is not going to come and take user interviews, is it? Right? They're not going to come and do user research, on-site user research, right? So UI UX is definitely an ever evolving field. You don't have to worry much about like these AI tools. Not in design career, not in development career, I think. Just focus on yourself, just focus on how you can be a good designer, and just focus to increase, level up your skills. That's it. That's what I'll just love to add here.
Okay. Yeah, got it. We should keep learning and all.
Exactly.
So yeah, moving on. Next one. What number of color combinations should be used for an SPA?
SPA.
Yeah, I guess a single page.
Okay, single page application.
Yeah.
For I think you can always think of using one color, but I mean two is fine, but more than two you should never use.
Okay. 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 So how UI UX can help in hackathon winning? Okay, I think this one is already covered in the
Yeah.
PPT. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the next question. And how to make things look minimal and aesthetics at the same time. Okay. Instagram aesthetics.
See, aesthetic is all about, obviously, I am a big fan of minimal design. And obviously, as a user, they don't like cluttered things. I am not going to say anything, but I just don't like what Amazon is doing. Definitely their customer experience is really good, right? This is a personal opinion, don't tag me now, okay? So basically, I mean, it is really good. If I'm ordering something right now, sometimes Amazon just send me in the next day itself. But as a UI guy, I mean, it is just too much to my eye. When I open an app, there are too much things happening. So what I personally like as a designer, it's minimal approach. So just take care things like, it should be really minimal, it should be really understandable to the user, and try to make it like really easy to understand. That um if I have to, like, use proper spacing, use proper alignments to make it like really easy to eyes. So these all are the things. And also, like, when you do a lot of practice and when you will analyze a lot of apps, you will understand what they are doing and how they are making UI. So then you will get to learn a lot. And also, when you work on real time product, you can learn a lot of what your users want, and that is how you start making it really better and really usable product.
Okay, okay. So that was the question that we have received. Now, looking at the chat section, I can see a question. Looking for inspiration design every time when making a good project is good.
Obviously, I would always do that. I do competitive analysis a lot. I take inspiration from other app as well. With that, we got to understand and know what layout these people are using and how they're approaching design, what unique things they are using, and also we get to know a lot of things. So obviously, you should do a lot of competitive research and then create. Obviously, don't copy anything, but don't make it obvious that you have copied something from any sort of app. But yes, take inspiration, but don't copy it.
Okay, okay, understood. Okay, in simple words, we can say nakal ke liye akal chahiye.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Someone has asked, what's the best possible way or time to present UI UX to judges during presentation?
I think, are we going to use Depfolio?
This time I think we are not using Devfolio. We will be using DevPost. We have decided for
Uh,
our second season.
so see, to present, it is completely on you, right? There are many tools. Maybe you can create something on tools like Figma, which is really easy to use. You can create something that I've just showcased. It is really simple. I've just created boxes and written over there. So that is how you can present. But obviously, presentation is really important. If you are able to present your designs nicely, present your research nicely, then obviously it is going to create a huge impact. So it is not important that you can use Figma. Maybe you can go to, like, Google, that sheet kind of thing, and you can write your ideas here. Google Draw you can use. So there are many tools if you research online. So yeah, that is how you can present. But obviously, include these things in your design. This way, judges are able to understand how you proceed to your problem statement.
Okay, okay. Okay, so the question is the Google UX course worth it?
Yeah, I mean, it is good. I have seen a lot of designers doing it. So If you have money and time, you can definitely go for it. But apart from that, I mean, as I said, you can learn it with your own as well. But if you need some guidance, maybe you can try to find mentors as well, right? There is a huge design community. There are a lot of people who can help you get started with it, who can review your design weekly. You can connect with them, you can try to take their guidance. If you really need someone. How I get started, I also had a brief conversation with Saptarshi Prakash. He's a Swiggy guy. He's a design manager at Swiggy. So I also had a conversation with him. He made me understand how to approach to design. So obviously, right, you can find mentor for yourself and you can take their guidance to get started with this. But obviously, if you wanted to do Google UX course, then definitely you can go for it. I think reviews are really nice, as I think.
Okay. Okay. So this is the last question for the day we are having. I am used to take inspiration from Insta. Is it okay always? Okay. One of the folks is asking.
Um, See, obviously, people are taking random things and they are creating randomly. They are also the same people, who are trying to learn designs. Then definitely, for initial days when you are, practicing design, then definitely you can take screenshot from for of any of the thing, and you can start doing it. You can start replicating things. So yeah, I mean, if you want to take inspiration on them, it is okay, but I would suggest to take inspiration from real world product, because they are designers who are creating that particular design. So you will get a lot of insights. Yeah. And Dribble and Behance introduce how to sort best useful designs. For Dribble, I mean, they have one search box, so you can search and they will filter off all of the things, and maybe you can pick up any of the design, take a screenshot, start replicating that. This is how you can make your UI skills better. And Behance is good for case studies, so you can go there and read case studies of different designers. This is how you can understand what people do. Basically, case studies. If you wanted to be a designer, you have to make your portfolio, and for portfolio you have to create different case studies. How you create case studies? You have to pick one problem statement and you have to do all of the research for that. You have to make designs and then all of those things. So Behance is really good for that. And Pinterest is also fine, but to be honest, I don't use it much. Yeah. Next question: how do you control your anger when you have already made
Anger,
a
yeah.
mistake in the first frame and continue it for next 20-30 frames and figure? Okay, this is interesting one. So basically, I sleep, or maybe I just sleep, and then I wake up, and then I just fix it up. That's it. That's all you can do for it. What
Okay.
is some common design mistake that you see and how they can be avoided? See, design mistakes in terms of UI, then definitely one of the things that I just hate is not thinking about your user. If you wanted to be a good UI UX designer, so if just see, design is an iterative process. You can never think that you can make a good design in first attempt. It can never be done, right? It is an iterative process. You ship first version, then you understand what problems your user are facing, what mistakes you have made, then in the second version clarify it. That's what designers do and how design work. So never think that you can never make mistakes. Obviously, we are humans, we can make mistakes, right? But you should uh, you know acknowledge it. You should learn, you should do user research, and you can rectify it like that, right?
Okay.
uh,
So people are asking to share the Figma file and the PPT guide that we have shown in the presentation. Okay,
uh,
so what we'll do, if you share the link with us, we will be sending one feedback mail to all the folks, and at that time we will attach the link and send it to everyone.
for sure, this one.
Everyone,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll share.
everyone will receive the link.
Awesome.
Cool, cool. Okay, okay. So that was for this event. Okay, so thank you very much to Manvi. It was great having you on this session.
Thank you,
We
Tushar. Thank
hope,
you so much
yeah.
for having me here. It is just so good to be here and to share whatever I've learned till now. hope to see you all soon in some other session.
Yeah. Thank you
And
so much,
just
Manvi.
feel free to like connect with me, and if you have any doubt, just do let me know. Maybe I'll do my best to answer them.
Yeah, sure. Like we are planning that to have kind of like a different channel on our Discord server to all the folks I'm speaking, for the speakers, for the mentors, a separate channel so that you can interact and you can ask any doubt. Feel free to ask them in that channel, and whenever they are free, they will answer. So it's under planning, and we will release it soon on our Discord channel.
Awesome, sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, so moving on a little bit of Hack for Bengal, you all of you know, I guess. So just write in the chat how many are still left to register. Okay, it's an in-person hackathon, the largest in-person hackathon in Eastern India, Hack for Bengal 2.0. It will be of 36 hours, and this time we have done the collaboration with Department of Information Technology and Electronics of Government of West Bengal and Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. There are much more big collaborations that are all coming up. Talks are going on, and we will release them soon. The date is 20th to 30th April 2023. So register fast. As I said, we are closing 500 registration. I think we have crossed 500 registrations by now. It's already 8:30. For registration, you can go to the directly to our link hack4bengal.tech /register. This is the registration link. If you want to check our website, each and every detail regarding this season, regarding last season also, it's available. Hack4bengal.tech. This is our official website. Now, for any kind of update, I recommend everyone, I ask everyone to join our Discord server, discord.io/hack4bengal. Each and every kind of update, you will get it there. There we have a separate ticket channel. In that ticket channel, you can create ticket. You can ask anything if you want to talk personally with the organizers and the volunteers. You want to discuss any issue, you can come there, create ticket. You can ask there. You can discuss the issue. Or there are journal channel. There are event queries. There also you can discuss anything, any query if you have. There are hangout sections, off topic. There are meme section, everything. So we have sorted everything out. Okay, from learning to fun. So do join our Discord server. Each and every announcement will be there. Also do follow us on our social media, Hack for Bengal, at Twitter, Instagram. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel everywhere at Hack for Bengal. Okay, so this was it for this session. Now there is a feedback form, as you can see, a QR code. Do scan this QR code. And this is an anonymous feedback form. Feel free to give your feedback. This is an anonymous form, no name, no email we are collecting, so that we want to understand that the type of session we are hosting or the way we are hosting, is it relevant to you? Because we are thinking it's relevant, but it's not a two-way conversation, right? That's why we should get the feedback from you also. Do feel free to write anything so that we get to know that what we should improve in our sessions, and of course we will be better next time. So I am keeping the QR code here for a few seconds. Do scan it. uh, for a few seconds. I will keep it here. The all the social media links are also available in the comment section. You can see, you can go to the comment section. All the links are there. Click on it and follow us. All the updates will be given in all of the social medias, and Discord is the most important one because you can interact, you can get social updates, you can hang out, chill, everything. Okay, so moving on, this was the end of the session. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you.